What up, y'all? Welcome to my overview/review of The Seasons Have Teeth, Issue 2, Summer, by Dan Watters and Sebastian Cabral from Boom Studios. Our story picks up with Andrew on a military plane on his way to intercept the season with other photographers. Aster, one of the photographers from another paper, looks over at Andrew and strikes up a conversation. Aster, who works for an illustrious paper, introduces Andrew to two other photographers, one of whom works for the same paper. They all look down at Andrew as he works for a tabloid, and the others are alphas of the photography world pack. The trail of the season is not hard to follow, and we get our first glimpse of Summer, a giant fire creature with a forked tail, after Andrew spots it through the airplane window. When the journalists arrive, we find they are not officially there to photograph the season, but instead are there to cover the refugee crisis Summer has sparked. Andrew is experienced covering crisis zones, but is still shocked by it, while one of the other photographers sees only opportunity. Andrew empathically tells one of the refugees they have brought provisions and rustles up the crowd. As the soldiers are distracted firing warning shots into the air, Aster hops the fence unbeknownst to the soldier, and Andrew follows. Andrew catches up to Aster as he is photographing a singed, evacuated town. Aster tells Andrew he should head back. It's too dangerous for him. He has no fireproof gear and is going to get himself killed. Andrew remembers he's heard this before from his wife before leaving to Belfast, and flashback to the time Andrew and his wife were in their late 20s and she did not want him to launch himself into danger, but he did anyway. Andrew was met at the airport by fellow journalists and headed back to the hotel to lay low while one of them went off to grab beer and promised his wife on the phone. They were watching each other's backs. In real time, Aster chastises Andrew and his competence. As Andrew fires back, Summer is behind Aster and scorches him, blowing off his flame-proof gear in the process. Summer peers at Andrew with his blazing eyes. Andrew snatches the cloak out of the air and flees. Summer gives chase, leaving a hell-blazed trail behind him. As Andrew continues to flee, we once again flash back to the hotel in Belfast when, about to get off the phone with his wife, they heard a loud boom. Shocked, they rushed downstairs to a grim sight. They found a car bomb had went off as Phil was walking by. Out of Summer's direct line of sight, Andrew recalls the grotesque condition Phil was in as he begged for help, but instead they simply took pictures. He remembers how he later threw up and was subsequently shell-shocked by the event, became a celebrity photographer, and let the dream slip away, leaving him with a feeling of emptiness. But this time, he is not running away. Back at the office, Andrew's editor, Paul, has received the news of Andrew's disappearance and death of the other photographer. Andrew rings to tell him he has sent him an email as Paul talks over him. Paul checks his email and is more upset. Andrew tells him how he calculated a window of opportunity to photograph the summer. Paul wants him to head back, but Andrew tells him he has decided to photograph all 4 seasons to complete the set. Paul states no one can get close to autumn. Andrew ignores the statement and tells Paul to run the picture. Alright, so this issue is short, sweet, and to the point, with an early view of Summer, followed by flashbacks, which, by contrast, made me appreciate the build-up of the first issue. The orange tint in the flashback scenes helped to blend into the past, and it was interesting to see Andrew carry on his lie about wanting to become a photographer to himself, at least until his late 20s. The introduction of the idea that this is a redemption story further instilled the scenes of the past into the framework of the storytelling. It was interesting to see what Paul looked like, since in the first issue he was just a voice on the phone. In the first issue was stated, "Summer is the most dangerous season," and we see blazing why. After reading that no one can get close to autumn, I'm eager to see what autumn looked like, since we know fall is a time of decay.